All right, and here we go. So thank you all so much for joining us for our May 6th virtual chat. Today, all about factory farm pollution, a little bit of a 101 about what our concerns are with stuff like that. So if you haven't been before, if this is one of your first virtual chats, these happen every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3 p.m. and could be on topics from learning about birding or how to garden at home to talking about some of our issues and some of our work like this. If you are interested in attending some more in the future, this Friday's, I believe, is going to be all about nature photography with one of our wildlife team members. And I don't have the schedule on me, but we have some exciting ones coming up next week as well. So stay tuned for that. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Zach and Hunter to talk to us today a little bit about factory farm pollution.
Hey guys, so we're gonna be talking about CAFOs, which are concentrated animal feeding operations. So basically, what are CAFOs? They're industrialized livestock operations. They usually house pigs, cows, and chickens. Animals in CAFOs are confined without vegetation for up to 45 days. So not only are these animals suffering when they are killed, but they are also living a life without sun, grass, and fresh air. And hundreds to millions of animals can live in one CAFO. So what are some environmental impacts of CAFOs? They emit both liquid and gas pollutants. Even the smallest CAFOs with up to like 500 cows produce the equivalent urine fecal matter of 16,000 people per day. 168 gases are released from CAFOs, such as ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, which in high concentrations can even cause death, and methane, one of the most potent greenhouse gases. Airborne diseases, including inducing bacteria and fungi, can be detected near CAFOs. You have mad cow disease, swine flu, and even coronavirus strains can be passed by poultry. CAFO liquid waste can contain hormones, cleaning agents, heavy metals, silage, leachate, phosphorus, nitrogen, and antibiotic-resistant bacteria. So the phosphorus and nitrogen can seep into our waterways and cause eutrophication, which is when algae overtakes a freshwater body of water. And basically, they prevent sunlight from penetrating the surface of the water and reaching plants underneath. And the whole ecosystem crashes because of that, because the plants cannot do photosynthesis and create energy. So then there's also elevated levels of nitrates in drinking water, and this can cause blue baby syndrome, which occurs in newborn infants, and that can lead to surgery or high medication. Here is a hog CAFO in North Carolina. Really, really disgusting. So how do CAFOs pollute waterways? First, spills and overflows can create liquid waste runoff, which can seep into our waterways. Stormwater mixes with the liquid, which ends up flowing into our storm drains. Pipes and hoses transporting the liquid waste can break or burst, just like oil pipes, and that results in water contamination. In field tile drains liquid waste into the ground, which contaminates groundwater, especially since Wisconsin groundwater is really shallow. We're really vulnerable to having liquid waste pollution. So then here is a CAFO for leather, and this one is called the Manure Lagoon, because as you can see, the whole proximity is covered in liquid waste. Hunter, your turn.
Hey, but can you hear me? Am I unmuted? Oh, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, you're good.
So are CAFOs profitable or sustainable? CAFOs cannot survive without taxpayer subsidies. They use massive amounts of electricity, lighting equipment, and irrigators to, maintain operations. And they use millions of gallons of fresh water to loot the liquid water waste that they produce. Liquid waste often has to be transported by truck to prevent overflows that flow out into rivers like Zach was talking about. And CAFOs contribute to the decline of rural communities. This is a picture. You can imagine living next to one of these places. The stench has got to be, pretty bad. And this is somebody's clothesline, it looks like. So that would not be fun, for sure. CAFOs in Wisconsin, as of 2019, Wisconsin had 304 CAFOs. The number of CAFOs in Wisconsin has gone up every year since 2005. Here you can see a graph. Oh, I lost the slides. I don't got the slides no more. I just see you, Zach.
Oh. Is the slide back?
No.
I think you'll have to share your screen with us again.
Is it back?
Oh, yeah.
We got it back. Go ahead and click on that link you were trying to get to.
So,
As you can see, there is a graph of the permitted CAFOs operating in Wisconsin between 2005 and 2019, and it more than doubled between 2005 and 2019, as you can see there. In 2019, 1/4 of CAFOs were operating under expired permits because of backlogs. Northeastern groundwater is shallow and limestone is eroded, increasing the likelihood of water pollution. There are alternatives, though. The U.S. Department of Agriculture statistics show that retail prices for meat, milk, and eggs have continued to rise. As CAFOs become more popular and replace independent family farms, hog hoop barns, which are healthier for the animals and much smaller than CAFOs, can produce comparable or even better results. But even better are free-range farms. Farmers in Iowa have found that raising hogs on pastures may produce animals at a lower cost than CAFOs. Smaller farms provide a greater economic boost to the local area than large operations like CAFOs. There's a picture of one of the alternatives that the sheep can have more room to roam, and they can go in there to eat and get protection from sunlight. So much better quality of life for the animals.
thanks, guys. That was a basic overview of CAFOs and their effects on the environment.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about CAFOs or the industrialized animal industry? None? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I've got a
question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, I've got a question. I just trying to find the unmute button. So, the one thing you said that they can live without vegetation for 45 days. Is there a 45-day limit somewhere?
I'm pretty sure it's under the Clean Water Act of 1972 that like controls CAFOs. I'm not exactly sure. The Sierra Club in Michigan actually reported that when they studied CAFOs, animals were inside the CAFOs for up to 45 days at a time.
Okay. And I was surprised to hear that people saying that they could raise animals at a lower cost, free range. So my understanding is family farms are having trouble competing with CAFOs.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are lower cost, why would that be?
That's because lobbyists are obviously lobbying their massive meat industries, and the government is subsidizing. So it's kind of similar to your non-renewable energy sources. We're just dumping subsidies into those, even though they might not be cheaper options.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll sort of wrap up and turn off the recording, and we can do a bit of a longer Q&A too if anybody else has any questions. But just wanted to say thank you all for joining us for our virtual chat. Again, we do these every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3 p.m. And if you are interested, the one coming up this Friday is all about nature photography. And it's the same link that you used to join today, and we'll have some more topics coming up soon. So thank you guys.